When Hollywood came to the end of the Cold War, they didn't breathe a sigh of relief. They said, oh my God, who will be the villains now? And there was, of course, an easy target after 1989. The Muslim world, and specifically the Arab Muslim world. Little complicating factor, there are about 1.3 billion Muslims on earth. Actually, about 250 million of them are Arab, but that doesn't matter in Hollywood. Every Muslim is an Arab, every Arab is a Muslim. We've got a new enemy. And if you look, at the plots of the films and so on, the heavies nowadays tend to be Arab and or Muslim with very little discrimination beyond there. It's easy to create a stereotype.
The thing why I think this can keep going on and so effective, and why Hollywood is selling so many tickets when they tell these stories these ways, in my experience, is because we really need to confirm our superiority. We're very afraid, and then I'm talking for Europe, but this was the case when I developed my play. When I saw the women that were mostly afraid of hearing the other stories and had to keep shouting that they were suppressed, they must be suppressed, find the stories they suppressed, it was because they needed to confirm they were liberated. And it was because they're insecure. And in that way, if I put it then for Europe, I could imagine that the Europe identity, we're insecure. We don't know what we are anymore. We need to be, then we see some people that have an identity and are very secure. We can't handle. That's too threatening. So we had to put them down, We have to make stereotypes there, because in that way we keep confirming every time again that we're the superior.
But I think we really need to come to terms with the challenge of conventional, ubiquitous commercial media and the way in which they constantly work against everything we just witnessed here on stage.
And not just here, but in the rest of the world. Because in the Arab and the Muslim world, and I imagine in much of the rest of the world, about 80% of the films that are shown in movie houses are from Hollywood. Now that figure is going to be changing soon as industries are getting better organized, and the Shamil might even address that. But to date, generations have been influenced by these images that America has of them. And so that is the other side of the coin.
When we hear this intervention in media and the depiction, more positive depiction of Muslims, we've seen this for women, particularly in advertising. A debate has been going on in this country for 20 years, certainly for gay and so on, and other minorities. There is often criticized as people want to do social engineering. I think this is really such a false start, because we don't realize that we're always doing social engineering, whatever we're depicting. And the issue that we have with media, as Benjamin says, depicting a reality that is one particular reality. The issue is to be, in a way, to change and make it more diverse and be more representative. So in a way, it's the opposite of social engineering. It's a bit of a more mirroring the reality as opposed to imposing one unilateral reality to the audience.
Yeah, well, one
Andrea.
thing I agree straight away when you say we can't victimize and say it's the media, because I'm sorry to say, but we are the media. The media is writing what we're buying, what we want to read. In my play, we gave the audience 3 of the stories we knew they wanted to have. And then we decided that was only 1/3 of the part, and I think the newspapers are doing it the opposite around, maybe. But we have a huge responsibility as consumers in deciding where and what we buy, and where and what we see. It's not just products, it's what we choose to see on the channel, when we choose to zap away, which internet site we choose to visit. Because what they're doing is they want to sell newspapers, they want to sell news, and what's selling is what we're eating.